The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by UMass Amherst School of Public Policy, offering graduate programs in public affairs, public policy and administration, data analytics, and computational social science. umass.edu/SPP.
Welcome to the Fabulous 413. I'm Khalees Smith.
And I'm Monty Belmonte. Later in the show, a hip-hop showcase drops the mic on this cycle of the Pay It Forward series at City Space in East Hampton. And we'll talk to the Springfield-based MC Swayze, who's curated the Maverick Session, which will take the stage of the Blue Room at Old Town Hall this Saturday.
And with the 15th annual March for the Food Bank a mere 4 days away, so it's a short period of time, veteran marcher and senior editor of Merriam-Webster, Emily Brewster, gives us this day our linguistic bread and slices up the strange etymologies of our favorite loaves.
But first, we head to the Hill.
Off we go.
You want to walk to the top and then walk down?
I think we should walk to the top and walk down.
Okay.
That's the real visitor experience.
Yeah.
So normally this is our craft studios, workshops. We've got 9 studios, ceramics, metalsmithing and jewelry, flat glass, glass blowing, 2D mixed media, 3D mixed media. I think that's probably 8. I missed one.
Where is the snow growing?
There's no snow, so there's no snow.
This is called Snow Farm. I was sold a bill of goods.
Bill of goods, yes. So Snow is actually the family name of the farm. This building right here is one of the oldest standing buildings left in Williamsburg, 1773. This was an old dairy farm. We've converted it into working place for artists to come and do their work and enjoy this beautiful scenery. And we're one of the only few residential craft schools left in the United States that offers a wide variety of these craft traditions and trying to keep it alive. My name's Neil Bastick. I'm the marketing director. I'm new. This is my first season here, so I'm learning the ropes.
Welcome to Western Mass.
Yeah. What's your name and what do you do at Snow Farm?
I am Laura Statlander. I'm the operations coordinator here, and I handled all the logistics for this year's sale. It's my second sale here.
Your second sale?
Second sale.
Second to the second power, yeah. And what's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Keely Quirk, and I'm the marketing and development assistant. And the thing I do for the second sale is that I am the kind of artist coordinator. So I do outreach to bring new artists to Snow Farm, and I also just coordinate getting everything here and getting it back to the artists at the end of the sale.
Nice. 2 weekends left to do it.
2 weekends left. We had a really good first weekend. We're off to a good start, and we just cleaned up a little bit and got nice for you.
Oh, good. Everybody trashed the place in the second sale.
We restock every weekend, so there's always new stuff on the shelves. You buy one ticket and you can come back anytime. So if you came on the first weekend, you can come back next weekend. No problem. Bring your ticket. So this building is normally our dining hall. Like I said, this is a residential craft school. All the buildings in the back are dorms, so people come. It's kind of like adult summer camp. And folks will stay here in our cottage. And then this is the main gathering space that we've converted this into what we call the main gallery. So there's a little bit of everything in here. And this is basically experience. We turn these working studios into galleries for the show, and we fill them with crafts. A lot of this stuff has come from artists that are instructors here or have been students here. Everything that you see here is something you could learn to make here.
You can just tell by walking in. First of all, it smells awesome.
Yeah.
Second, it looks awesome.
So cool. You got to take classes here with your
I got to
family.
blow glass with my family here one time, and I actually have a long history because I had a friend who I knew when I was in my 20s who came to be an artist in residence at Snow Farm, lived in the dorm. So this, even before I lived in Western Mass, the idea of Snow Farm loomed large. Then another friend of mine who blew glass was an instructor here, and I know he would wake up all the other people learning how to blow glass by doing things like riding a dirt bike through the dorms or like wearing a tutu and knocking on everybody's door.
Was that during the summer program?
Yeah.
Because that tradition still happens every year at Snow Farm Summer.
That guy was a wild man, and you can talk to Josh Simpson, the glassblower, about this guy. Even Josh Simpson is like, that kid is off his rocker, which is why I'm friends with him.
How often do the artists turn over here at Snow Farm?
For teaching?
Yeah. And residencies, if they're different.
Yeah. So our classes are between 2 days and 5 days, and we have, our workshops are running back to back from April through October. So each workshop session, we have a new group of students and a new group of teaching artists. Sometimes our teaching artist might teach 2 or 3 times during a season, but most of the time, every class is a new instructor.
So we're seeing all sorts of different types of art, from these incredible wooden bowls to these cutting boards to like what looks like a robot made out of a temperature gauge and some sort of Asian influenced box, and then these beautiful mirrors. Like there's all sorts of different types of stuff going on here. You mentioned that you need a ticket to be part of the second sale. Talk about how that works.
Yeah, so all that money goes to support our Teen Scholarship Fund. In July, we have workshops, adult workshops, April to October. But in July, we close things down. We only let teens come, 14 to 18-year-olds. This year will be the 40th season that we have the teens at this location in the summer. So it is the program that founded Snow Farm. It was called Horizons back in the 80s. That's the thing that got this place started. And so your entry fee goes to support these teen scholarships.
We should have bought a ticket and then been able to get.
Buy tickets.
But I meant for now. This is awesome. This looks like a badminton racket that put a mirror put in there. That way you can better see your shuttlecock.
I know this is the second sale, and it happens like right around holiday time, which is perfect. And I'm seeing a lot of ornaments. Is that usually the case, that like sometimes where they're catering towards the time of year that it ends up happening?
Yeah, I think we see a lot of, obviously glass-blown ornaments are kind of popular year-round, but that's definitely one of the big things we sell. We also sell ornaments of all different kinds. I see here we have some wood ornaments that have some painted animals on them. We have some marbled ornaments. So I definitely think the artists, they know what time of year they're heading into. They're making stock for other holiday fairs as well. And a lot of times what they're bringing us is things that they either didn't sell at other fairs throughout the year, or like, a quote true second, which is something that might have a slight flaw, but you won't find it because artists are perfectionists.
Yeah. So far, no flaws.
Most of this stuff is overstock, experimental pieces. It's really a good way for artists to, make a little cash at the end of the year, and they've already done their craft season and been around at all the big fairs. So it's a nice way for them to kind of send their stuff and get another chance to get a good paycheck before the new year. 50% of the proceeds goes to the artists that are here, so you'll see there's codes on all the art. We basically just split everything 50-50 with our artists, and we use our half of the proceeds to basically run the operation. And you can imagine with a busy workshop season, there's a lot of wear and tear on the equipment, there's a lot of wear and tear on the facilities here. So this is a big deal for us to raise some money to help us keep our workshop fees kind of reasonable.
I'm looking at these incredible goblets over here, and as somebody who has blown glass before, if you charged $400 for these glasses, I would understand why they cost so much money, because these are incredibly difficult to do well. Although it can be a hard pitch to say, please pay $400 for a glass. But these were made here at the Hot Shop just for the sale?
Yes, so we have a phenomenal glass blower. His name is Jay Brown, that is here, and he takes care of our Hot Shop for us. And he came in with another glass blower, Tucker Litchfield, and they made these goblets exclusively for Snow Farm's second sale.
They are not $400.
But how lucky these guys were to be able to practice making goblets, because that's also, it's like making the perfect vanilla ice cream, I think, if you're Snow's ice cream, you need to make your vanilla well. Like, can you be a glass blower and make a beautiful goblet? It's really hard, and these are exquisite.
There's a little second right there. You can kind of see an air bubble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit warped on the lip. Okay.
Oh, darn. There's a bubble in my beautiful glass. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I'm going to put bubbles in it myself.
There you go.
You mentioned that there are like eight, nine general types of crafts that are being practiced here. Do artists ever come that are outside of those and things have to get built or like restructured for them?
Well, I mean, we have the 2D mixed media studio and the 3D mixed media studio. So kind of anything goes in there as long as, you're crafty enough and it fits inside the building. Sometimes we'll get outside the building in the summer if the weather's nice. We do some
What if I'm a 4D artist?
If you're a
I'm
4D
using
artist,
my third eye.
you're going to have to build some new space for that. There's several artists here that are board members of Snow Farm, so that's very exciting, and they're practicing artists themselves, so it's a great community here.
Are you all three artists yourselves?
No, I'm really good at spreadsheets.
It's an art in and of itself. Yeah.
Everyone needs that, even if they think they don't need that, especially artists.
Not everyone can excel at that art form.
Oh, no, bad.
I like to tell people I'm using my my illustration degree here in arts admin. So I do think of myself as an artist. I'm not really currently a practicing artist, but it's great to be in a community of artists and be using my skills to support other people.
I'm not an artist myself, but I kind of am practicing a little crafty here and there. Before I started the job this spring, I took the canoe paddle carving class, which was really fun.
Ooh, cool.
And so I was here for 2 days and left with a beautiful ash canoe paddle.
I love the woodworking here. It's so wonderful.
Glass cats.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice they were cats. They're so cute. They look like they're paperweight glass cats. Oh, I gotta get one of those for Enzo.
We're a cat-friendly workplace. We've got two cats in the main farmhouse, help us with rodent control.
Doing what they're supposed to.
Right,
Earning their
they're
keep.
working cats.
Coming up, more exploring at Snow Farm in Williamsburg as they head into the second weekend of their second sale.
And later, the Word Nerd rises to the occasion and unveils the unleavened etymologies of words having to do with bread, just in time for the Food Bank March next week.
Plus, the Pay It Forward series passes the mic to our guest Swayze, the artist creating a hip-hop event at City Space in East Hampton this Saturday, and we'll hear all about it.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
All right, let's go around and we'll show you a couple of the other studios here.
Cool. We're at Snow Farm, where the second sale will be happening the next 2 weekends here in Williamsburg.
Don't sleep on the hill towns. You know, the Fabulous 413, we're always talking about the Valley and the Berkshires.
Hey, now, we've been in Ashfield like 10 times in the last week.
My name's Neil Bastick. I'm the marketing director.
I am Laura Statlander. I'm the operations coordinator here.
My name is Keely Quirk, and I'm the marketing and development assistant.
This is normally our ceramics gallery, so normally this is full of potter's wheels and clay and lots of dust, so it takes us a while to clean up, and get this space looking decent.
Oh, yeah, but now it's a gallery where there's all sorts of jewelry.
Jewelry, full of
Wow.
jewelry. A lot of this is coming out of our metal shop and our jewelry studio over there, but a lot of this is, again, is artists all over the area and the region, and some as far as Oregon. We've got our bead bar over here. You can make your own necklace, put something together. All these beads, most of them were made in our glass shop. You know, seconds that people kind of leave is in the summer. We have a bead donation jar, and it gets filled up, and they get sold here at the second sale.
Yeah, these are fun beads.
Well, and if you it's a great bargain, because if you went to a bead shop, a bead like this, that's about maybe an inch wide, would probably cost you $10-20, especially with as much detail as is going on in there. And these are just beautiful. There's butterfly wings that you can put on your boots.
Yeah, you can attach them through the laces. It looks great.
You can pretend that you're Hermes.
Could be an accoutrement for future Food Bank March boots.
Oh, hey.
So this is normally our fused glass studio. We do mosaic, stained glass work in here. We've turned it into the fiber gallery. And
Wow, we got all sorts of things from t-shirts and scarves and hats and bags, and they look awesome. Lots of knit stuff. Cool upcycled bags, it looks like over here, maybe.
lots of upcycle, lots of fabric collage, lots of pastiche.
I love these bags made out of animal grain. Dog food, yeah. Sunflower bird seed.
And overalls.
The overalls are really nice.
Yeah.
Our big project this weekend or this winter is in the 2D and 3D studio. We're finally getting water. So the sewer guys were here last week and they did a quick work and got the road patched up before the sale. But we'll have a bathroom and sinks in these two old dairy barns here, which will be a little more convenient for folks taking the workshops in the summer.
How hard has it been to upkeep this place? Oh, I hear. Oh, okay.
It's constant. There's a constant crew around here every day doing landscaping and maintenance. There's just constant projects all the time. We repointed a bunch of brick this fall. You can imagine we're painting all the time.
Not just the artists.
Not just. Yeah. We're painting barns. But it's definitely a little rustic, right? It's rough around the edges here, and I think that's part of the experience and part of what people like. Again, that idea, it's kind of summer camp for adults. And so this is normally our flame working shop, and it doesn't look anything like that, but there's a big table with a bunch of torches in the middle normally. But we've turned it into the Jane Sinauer Gallery, which is our high-end work. This is all firsts in here. Ooh. And stuff from pretty well-established artists and folks that good practice. And
Lovely.
so yeah, this is the fancy stuff and the kind of things that cost a little more. And
Incredible kaleidoscopes over here and sculptures and
Teapots and vases, and
you
I'm
were
too far
talking-
away.
an Ashfield artist Maya from Ashfield there. You're saying you were just up there.
Yeah. Oh, and then we've got Peterman's boards.
Peterman's, yeah.
He lives right down the street from me. I was in Boston, and he has a whole shop right there in right near Faneuil Hall.
Wow,
I was
amazing. Yeah.
Cool to see.
Most of those bowls up in the main gallery were his bowls as well.
Nice.
So.
Oh, cool. That piece is nuts.
Every one of those little pieces was laid in.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
And fused together.
It's a giant glass bowl with tiny little pieces of colored glass, and it looks gorgeous, but you can tell a lot of work went into that.
Yeah, there's always a lot of work with mosaics, and that basically is a mosaic bowl.
I've had to carry this one around to some presentations. It's nerve-wracking. So fragile and big. We got the crazy cat over here. Is my favorite weird piece on the wall here.
Ooh.
He is the cat.
I am the cat, fused glass.
Oh, wow.
It's following me with its eyes.
It's looking at you. It's definitely looking at you. All right, let's wander into the ceramics gallery. Mugs is what we seem to be all about mostly every year.
Makes a great gift.
Everybody loves a mug.
Yeah.
I don't have any more space for more mugs.
Me either. I need to have my mug collection. You only use one anyway. I don't know why.
Have your own second sale.
Yeah.
We're gonna go.
The great thing about the mugs too is that Snow Farm buys a lot of the mugs from the second sale, and we use them in our dining hall during the season. So everyone gets to drink out of a beautifully handmade mug.
Love it.
So this is usually where fiber
Yep.
art gets done.
But now it's mug heaven.
Mug heaven.
Mugs that way.
And plate heaven. Oh my gosh, these are beautiful.
Oh yeah, wow. There's so many beautiful mugs here. I really do want to get rid of all my mugs and get these.
Start over.
I think I have to come back and get this bowl for my sister.
What does the bowl say that's so entertaining to you?
The bowl says that it is an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. And I think one of my sisters needs that. This is okay though, they're different sizes, so I can fool myself into thinking I'm drinking a little less coffee.
My mug is giant at home, and I would need to get another giant mug.
There's a tureen.
Oh, that's enough for my coffee right there. A tureen will do it.
Do you know how many pieces you started the sale with?
I don't even have a guess. We sell thousands of pieces, and we do our best to sell it all, but we do usually send at least a few pieces back home to the artists. But we sell just a really incredible amount of work throughout the 3 weekends.
Yeah, we had 1,300 people come through this weekend, so
Wow.
it's on the high end, but it's a little bit what we expect, and so we're very excited.
Oh, we're ready for more.
We're ready for more.
These things are beautiful, but also my partner has just butter fingers, and I'm afraid. I want to have pretty things to put food on. I love them, but they can't be trusted.
That's why you get a second.
A second partner? Agreed.
Thanks again to Neil Bastek, Laura Statlander, and Keely Quirk from Snow Farm in Williamsburg. The second sale runs the next 2 weekends and supports the work they do, encouraging artists of all ages to create their many mediums of art.
Later, the Word Nerd helps us prepare the Food Bank March by rising to the occasion and talking to us about bread.
But up next, exploring cadences come correct and the beats made proper by the MCs and producers, curated by Swayze for the Maverick Session, closing out this year's Pay It Forward grant recipients for East Hampton City Space.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
NEPM's podcasts are funded by Armbrook Village, offering research-based arts, music, fitness, and lifelong learning programs at their assisted living and Alzheimer's care community in Westfield. armbrookvillage.com. The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by the UMass 5 College Credit Union, offering co-op advantage checking with cash back on all purchases, plus secure debit card controls, all from the UMass 5 mobile banking app. Insured by NCUA, umass5.coop.
Jimmy Brunson is an East Hampton City Space Pay It Forward artist whose stage name is Swayze. They are based in Springfield and are organizing a hip-hop showcase that will feature new up-and-coming artists from Springfield and beyond. It's called the Maverick Session, and it's happening this Saturday, November 23rd at 8 p.m. in City Space's Blue Room at Old Town Hall on Main Street in East Hampton.
This event is dedicated to spotlighting Springfield's emerging musical voices as well as local artists in surrounding communities, bringing the dynamic energy of music to the city of East Hampton. And as we mentioned, Swayze is a Pay It Forward recipient. Pay It Forward is a program by City Space, a nonprofit that aims to preserve Old Town Hall and that offers artists venue access to develop works connected with the community, access skill-building opportunities, and produce performances in the aforementioned Blue Room. And from the City Space Pay It Forward program is the program and venue manager, Zoe Fieldman. Jamise Brunson, would you prefer we call you Jamise or Swayze?
Swayze.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
You're not any relation to Quinta Brunson, are you?
No, but she's awesome.
She's the best.
She is the
I
best.
hope I'm related to her.
Right? Been watching her since she was on BuzzFeed.
Yeah, she
Quinta,
really
if you're
is the best.
listening, come this week.
I know, I was going to say, like, I couldn't let it go without asking. Tell us about Swayze, because I'm crazy for Patrick Swayze.
No.
I'm assuming this might not be the same Swayze.
No, actually, my name was kind of influenced by my brother because historically my family's always been into music. So, I just took over his name without permission, but I wear it better, so it's okay.
Wait, so your brother was using the name Swayze?
Correct.
And then how long ago was your brother using Swayze?
When I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, since I can remember,
Uh-huh.
they were out trying to do music over in Hartford, so that's kind of where I picked it up.
Is he mad?
No, he's not mad.
Okay.
He's not mad at all.
Has he gotten a new stage name?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
When you go out on stage together, then you're Swayze, and I kind of want you to make this happen at some point in the
Yeah.
future, just so I can see it.
Got you.
How did you find the City Space Pay It Forward program?
I'm kind of connected to a few artists. I've noticed artists that were utilizing this venue and doing really well with it. And then I came across an ad for the Pay It Forward series. It was on my birthday. It was the last day.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, I took it as a sign to apply on the very last day, but I did it. I took the time out to do it, and, I received the grant and the resources and all the help. So, yeah, I'm grateful for that.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Early birthday present to myself.
Well done. Zoe, we've had you on, I think, for all the other Pay It Forward recipients, or most of the other ones. Is this the last one of this
This
season?
is the last one of this year, yes. We might have a special continuation in the early spring, late winter of next year, but Swayze over here is going to be our 9th and final from the Pay It Forward program this calendar year. So I think it's a really special way to wrap up this awesome year of programming.
To wrap it up.
Oh,
No, no. No, don't Nick her. No. No.
That was good.
Swayze's Maverick Sessions happening this Saturday, the last Pay It Forward in this series, November 23rd, 8 p.m. at City Space in East Hampton.
What was it like curating this to bring the folks that you like and appreciate and wanted the more people to like and appreciate together?
Absolutely. It was new, very stressful, but in a good way, because I like being a creative. I like doing music, so it was just a challenge because it was something I never done before, but at the same time, I enjoyed the journey and I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish, because I was always going to underground music shows and stuff like that, and so I already know these artists was good. It was just getting them to agree and understand the mission and then coming together as a community and presenting it to people.
We're speaking with Swayze, who's from Springfield, who has curated the Maverick Sessions happening on Saturday, November 23rd at City Space's Blue Room in East Hampton. Tell us who else is part of the Maverick Sessions, Swayze.
So I have a couple artists that are really have been making waves for years in Springfield and beyond, but Joe Schmo is one of them. He's very popular here in Springfield.
Great name.
Yeah. Catchy. Jalen. And these are two different artists on different spectrums, but they're very, very, very good artists. Coney, and I'll do one more, Slim Bundy. She's from Hartford. So I have to recognize that because I'm also from Hartford. Oh, I also got Confused, all the way from Boston.
Wonder where you go, where you're going. I ain't seen you in so long. It's been 5 days and 4 months since the last time that we met.
Integrating these networks from Boston, Hartford, and Springfield and putting them in one place, even all the way here in East Hampton.
The New England hip-hop scene doesn't necessarily get as much attention as other locations. What makes it stand out for you and makes it special?
It's more just growing up over here because I used to live down south. That's where I was in marching band and picking up instruments and stuff like that. But I came to Springfield and I started rapping. It just feels more home here, the East Coast.
Huh. What did you play in marching band?
I played percussion. I played the snare drum.
Yeah, there we go.
I was also a marching band percussionist.
Right, and you understand how you have to be disciplined and you have to really, really try. Because I was the only female percussionist.
Uh-huh.
So that just shows how hard I had to work to get to certain places.
Zoe Fieldman, who is the program and venue manager for City Space East Hampton, as we mentioned, this is the last Pay It Forward grant recipient, but is this going to continue to go forward with Pay It Forward in the future? And how do people start, maybe you find an ad on your birthday and you capitalize on it, but if people are interested in this, what might be a good next step for them?
Oh, absolutely. So we're planning this upcoming year on pulling the whole program about a month earlier than it was before. Going into March, April, applications should be coming live. And we're hoping to get things started a little earlier this year with the end of the summer. I think we were on here with Deja Carr for the first show, and now we're here for the last show, which is really sweet. And that was mid-September. So we're hoping to get things going more like August next year, because City Space is going to also be undergoing hopefully some really exciting changes upstairs and on the side of the building with a bunch of new renovations, hopefully. Keep an eye on our website, keep an eye on our newsletter, and especially in early to late spring, you can start sending in those applications. Unfortunately, it won't be on your birthday again this year, but maybe it'll be on some listener's birthday.
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Take that as a sign.
And find out on your birthday.
Yeah.
That's good too. Events like this lead to piles of collaborations that wouldn't necessarily happen at other events. Have you found that to be true as you bring all of these elements together?
Yes, absolutely. Prior to curating my own show, I was always present in others' shows. That's kind of where I built my own network, connecting this network and that network. It's just a big network that we can all just enjoy and, hopefully gain something from. Yeah, and again, these artists, I have to emphasize, are from different ends of the spectrum, but they're all great. So I'm just curious to see what the outcome of the collaborations would be.
That's Swayze, who is the last grant recipient of Pay It Forward in this cycle, performing the Maverick Sessions with a bunch of other artists this Saturday, November 23rd, 8 p.m. in City Space's Blue Room. Swayze, it's cool that you mentioned that you were in a marching band and percussionist, and then you came to Springfield and decided that you wanted to change it up and to rap and do hip-hop or whatever. Was there a moment? Was there something that happened that flipped that switch for you?
Yeah, so I always thought I would go to college for music, but when I moved here, there's the culture is different, so there's no marching band. So there's jazz band and wind ensembles and stuff like that. There wasn't even a drum line. Couldn't even play drums anymore. I had to switch instruments to a trumpet. So I went to UMass. Before my freshman year, I was in a program called Upward Bound, taking high school kids and preparing them for college. So within that little summer, my friends were making music in the library at UMass. I was like, well, my God, that's so cool. I want to be like them. So they're like, okay, you come with us. So me and my other 3 friends, and they heard me. They was like, wow, you're good. Let's make a collective. And we kind of called ourselves KUA, and it stands for Keep Us Alive. So all of our drives for music and our passion for music keeps us going, keeps us motivated. So that was the point where I was like, okay, I could do this. That was 4 years ago. Still doing it.
Where else does Keep Us Alive produce shows in the area?
This is my first show I've ever curated, that my friends and I have curated. So hopefully there's opportunities in the future, but for now, this is the foundation. This is something new for us.
It sounds so exciting. It sounds great. It's so cool that this is something that East Hampton and City Space has prioritized, and we've gotten to hear from or about so many of these projects over the last couple of years.
Do you get to incorporate any of your percussion or horn playing into your hip-hop work?
I made music in band, but now it's using technology. So I can play 5 different instruments if I wanted to. It's just knowing the software. So that's how I integrate my music knowledge into my rapping, is making the beats.
Got anything else?
No, I'm good, I think.
All right. Well, Swayze is the curator of the Maverick Sessions, the last in the grant cycle for City Space's Pay It Forward program, which will happen this Saturday. City Space, Blue Room, Old Town Hall, Main Street, East Hampton. Break a leg, have a great show. It sounds like it's going to be fantastic. Thanks for coming in. And Zoe Fieldman, once again, if people are interested in tickets and or where to look for the future Pay It Forward programs, where do they go?
You can go to our website, cityspaceeasthampton.org, or Instagram, cityspace413, to find out more about this amazing show, any upcoming shows for the rest of ever, and also for when we do announce the new Pay It Forward program cycle, where you can get not just grant money, but also community support, cohort learning, skill building. It's free use of our space. It's really a lot, and Jimmy's has taken full advantage of everything we have to offer, I'd say, which has been awesome to see.
They've been a great resource for me.
Talk about that a little bit. Have you had a chance to see any of the other grant recipients or like interact with, how was your interactions with them?
Yeah.
Considering like the nature of your show versus the natures of their shows. This has been a wide range of things this year.
Yeah. What I like about like the Pay It Forward series is like, one, you get, a stipend, but you also get access to the venue space. So you get to learn it, practice in it, become familiar with it, become intimate with it, learn the space. And that's helped me because like I haven't performed that much. So getting the opportunity, get the repetition in and really fill out the space. Not only that, but the resources, like how to learn my audience, workshops. I was able to meet the other recipients initially in our first meeting. Like everyone was in one room all together, just introducing ourselves, learning each other and our projects. And I'm one of the few music artists. There's a lot of theater folks and stuff like that, but they all had the same goal, had the opportunity to create something. And that's really important.
Jamise Brunson, Zoe Fieldman, thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, veteran food bank marcher and word nerd Emily Brewster will holla at us about the etymologies baked into our favorite types of bread.
Of all the puns that you've done, that's the one I'm most disappointed in.
Oh, I love that one.
You're listening to the Fabulous 413 on 88.5 NEPM.
The Fabulous 413 podcast is funded by Northeast Solar, helping customers make the switch to solar for savings, energy security, and tax incentives. Learn more at northeast-solar.com. NEPM's podcasts are funded by Armbrook Village Senior Living in Westfield, with support services designed to help seniors age in place, including a Compass Memory Support Neighborhood. More at armbrookvillage.com.
Emily Brewster, resident wordster from Merriam-Webster, senior editor at our dictionary in Springfield, and previous marcher for the food bank.
It's true. I've marched twice, and I will march again. Not this year, though.
I don't blame you. You did like the whole 26-mile route, right?
I did.
Yeah, so like day 2.
Whoa.
Yeah, so you're, hardcore, as they say.
Twice I have done the walk from Northampton to Greenfield.
The marathon
first time I
portion.
did it, I had the wrong shoes, and that made for difficult days subsequent.
Yeah.
But then the second time I did it, I had good shoes, which was really just a new pair of sneakers that fit well.
I would recommend, if anybody who's marching is listening, you only have a few days left to break those shoes in. So if they are new, break them in as soon as you possibly
Don't wear
can.
brand new shoes. You might hurt yourself.
I try to do at least 10 miles on each pair of shoes that I'm going to wear. And I won't get into the details of what I'm personally experiencing going into this march, the gory details of which I shared with Khalees earlier today. That is another story that I hope to have remedied by next week.
But you should absolutely tell Emily what has happened to you.
All right. Well, without getting too graphic, I had a toenail that was about to be ingrowing that I wounded worse by sparring in Kung Fu.
Oh, no.
Then, yesterday, while grabbing a pillow out of Atticus's room, an extra pillow for my bed, while it was dark in there, I somehow stepped on a board that had all these tiny nails in it on the other foot. And then I had to pull the board out of my foot. So, yeah. That's going to heal in a week, right?
Oh, Monty.
Yeah, he's got 5 days to get...
It's going to be fine.
Okay.
You should go to some healers.
Yeah.
Like, there are all these woo-woo people in the valley. Somebody's got to have something.
Yeah, I probably know them all.
Yeah, you
probably do.
But we're here to talk about food words, Emily Brewster, because, of course, the Food Bank March, which I almost called a ridiculous publicity stunt, which I've been barred from doing by Liz Ogilvie, who is Springfield Food Policy Council, is all about raising money and awareness about issues surrounding hunger in the 4 counties of Western Massachusetts, and to try to alleviate that a little bit by raising some money as well as addressing the issues systemically. But now we will address the issues linguistically.
I thought that we would talk about one of the core kinds of food that is so essential in so many ways. It's also a very communal food. It is bread. We're going to talk about words relating to bread.
Love it.
Apologies to our gluten-free community.
You can make some of these gluten-free, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How many definitions does bread have in Merriam-Webster?
Not so many, actually.
Okay.
Our entry, just for the noun, there's a sense 1, 2, 3A, and 3B. So the first one is a usually baked and leavened food made of a mixture whose basic constituent is flour or meal. And then 2 is food or sustenance, as in give us our daily bread. 3A is livelihood, someone who earns their bread.
Oh, yeah.
And then also money. You got any bread?
Well, if you got any bread definition 4, to throw towards the food bank. That'll come in real handy.
Yes. Give that bread.
Bread definition 1, you can donate at a different time.
Bread definition 3 is mostly what we're looking for.
Well, no, that's earning your keep, right? It's 4, that's money.
It's 3B.
3A allows you to give 3B.
All right. Anadama bread.
Oh, yeah.
Do you all eat Anadama bread?
No, but I have made Anadama bread.
My Anadama don't want none unless you got
more buns?
Hot cross buns, hon. My Anadama
don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
I remember that Anadama bread is a thing, but I can't remember what that thing is.
It's with amaranth.
Oh,
have you not made it that way?
I think you can make it with amaranth flour.
Yes.
Technically, our definition is a leavened bread made with flour, cornmeal, and molasses. Yes. The funny thing about it is where the name comes from.
Where does it come from?
Any ideas?
Alabama.
No idea.
No, it is thought that it actually is some combination of the word damn and the name Anna.
Anna?
As in, like, damn Anna's bread. Am I allowed to say that? Or Anna damn her.
Why wouldn't you switch it then? Damarana bread. Anadama bread?
I don't know.
No, it is more fun to say the other way.
It is more fun to say the other way. Yeah. I don't know if I would say it's Southern. Usually when you see molasses and corn together, that's a Northern thing.
The theory that it's related to some beloved or despised soul named Anna, it comes from the Yankee Cookbook by Imogene B. Walcott, published in 1939. Her theories about it being related to the name Anna are not actually challenged in any way. So
nobody has a better idea where this name Anadama bread came from.
That's right. And it definitely originated in New England. It also has alternate names like Amidama, Amidammy, and Yammy-Dammy.
Yammy-Dammy?
Yammy-Dammy.
That seems like it's getting a little further away from the source than we would think.
So you think about how bread functions in a community or in a family. If there's a particular bread that someone is making a lot or that is served a lot, it becomes familiar and people use names for it that are, most efficient. Or perhaps a younger speaker in a family might come up with one of these variants. And that variant would play out, stick around, be adopted by the wider population. And you get Yammy-Dammy.
Is the key to making good anaconda bread to Sir Mix-a-Lot?
Anaconda bread?
I mean, because they do have those power mixers. I bet they'll come in handy if you're trying to make bread sometimes. No? What are other bread words, Emily Brewster, resident wordster from Merriam-Webster, as we head into the March for the Food Bank to make sure that none of our friends are without bread this holiday season and all year long?
What about babka?
I love babka.
Well, again, another one where I've heard of it. I probably had it. I have no recollection of exactly what it is.
Oh, I love babka. My favorite one that's happened was a few years ago. Small oven around the Passover Easter times made a guava and cream cheese babka.
Whoa.
It was insanely good. I don't know if anyone else got any of the one I bought.
What is Merriam-Webster's definition of babka, Emily Brewster?
Well, our definition is pretty broad, a sweet bread made with yeast and butter, but the word babka was borrowed into English twice. It has two separate origins, and there are at least two different kinds of babka that are pretty distinct. So there's a Yiddish babka, so the English word is spelled B-A-B-K-A. The Yiddish word B-A-B-K-E, also pronounced babka, is the word that refers to a sweet bread that contains a filling. Often it's chocolate or cinnamon or poppy seeds. It's usually rolled and twisted before it's baked in a loaf pan, and it's sometimes topped with streusel. There's also a Polish-derived babka that refers to a sweet bread that contains raisins or other dried fruit, and that's baked in a round cake pan with scalloped sides, and that's often topped with syrup or icing or sugar.
So you got to get your babkas straight.
Or not, just enjoy them both. Both words, the Yiddish babka and the Polish word babka, in their respective languages, mean old woman or grandmother.
So it's she babka. So you, just like Cyndi Lauper, you are supposed to enjoy this all by yourself. She bop?
All right. Another bread word.
It's annoying because our silence is tasty to him, just like these breads.
Yep. What's another bread word, Emily Brewster?
How about baguette?
This one I remember what it is.
Are you going to use the Flight of the Conchords section from Fuda Fafa?
Consider it done, Khalees.
Thank you.
Baguette.
Baguette. What makes a baguette a baguette?
Well, it's really just a long, thin loaf of French bread. And, in English, like so many French words, it sounds a little bit fancy. It sounds, long, thin loaf. Certainly the word loaf is not a fancy sounding word. Baguette sounds much better, but the French word actually translates as simply rod or stick.
Turns out rod's not a fancy word either.
No.
My name is Rod, and I like to party.
So it's not fancy in French, it's just fancy in English.
Yeah, I want one of those rod loaves, from France.
I wonder if it's a euphemism for them.
According to Sigmund Freud, it's just a baguette. Or is it? Where are the good baguettes?
I am partial to the baguettes from Rise Above Bakery in Greenfield.
They're the black flaggiest of all bakeries in the valley.
Rise above, we're gonna rise above.
And I think we should just call it a rod. I would like a French rod.
I would like a rod of bread.
Yeah.
A rod of bread.
Henry Rollins would order a rod or a loaf. He doesn't want a baguette at Rise Above.
Rod, a way to order bread.
Yeah. What are some more bread words, Emily Brewster?
A decidedly not fancy sounding bread is Boston brown bread.
Oh.
I kind of like Boston brown bread. It's an acquired taste, for sure.
It is definitely an acquired taste, and I am not pro raisins in baked goods.
At all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to have it with raisins. I mean, the weird thing about Boston brown bread is that you can buy it canned.
That's how the only way I ever had it.
It's the only way that most people have had it, but the canned version often comes with raisins in it.
Also, canned cranberry sauces. I have had real cranberry sauce a couple of times, but that's the cranberry sauce I grew up with too. In a can, bread in a can, green beans in a can, corn in a can. Put it in a can.
Canning is a very viable way to keep foodstuffs for long periods of time, including your bread.
Tuna in a can. You put all the food groups in a can. That's good. Well, when the apocalypse really does come, now we know how we can store all of our favorite foods.
Not so much milk. You keep that powdered.
Boston brown bread is a descendant of an older bread called rye and Indian bread. And that was made in colonial times. It was baked in a pot or in a brick oven. It was made of rye flour and cornmeal.
That sounds awesome, actually.
Probably was much better than the one in a can that I've had.
They're both steamed. You have to like steamed bread.
Well, steamed bread is actually really great. There's a whole category of steamed bread in Asia, and it's just it gives it this extra fluffiness. You don't get the crustiness because it's steamed. What you gain in texture of the bread itself is awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of Boston, go to Chinatown and get some steamed buns there. Oh, yeah. That's where I had my first steamed buns, right near the home of Boston brown bread in a can. Is there really any connection to Boston with this other than it's a New England thing?
Maybe we were the ones who put it in cans.
Well, it's just right. It's associated with Boston. So
time for a Dunkin' run.
I think brown bread, Boston brown bread, would appeal also to those who like their crusts cut off of their peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I can see that.
I happen to have one of those in my house.
What's some other bread words, Emily Brewster?
The word brioche is another one. It's a light, slightly sweet bread. Mm-hmm. It's yeasted. Brioche also has this kind of, it sounds fancy again, brioche somehow. But this one has an etymological root. It is etymologically related to an old Irish word meaning he or she breaks wind.
Yes.
Is it because there's eggs in it?
I don't know. We don't know. I don't know, and etymologists also don't know.
That is hilarious. It's fart bread.
Bread like the wind.
Yeah. Do you know about the word pumpernickel?
Nope.
No, but I love the bread.
Me too. Oh my God, yes.
Pumpernickel it's got the most charming etymology of all the bread words that I know.
More than the fart bread even.
Well, yes, absolutely, because it's even more so.
Yes.
Pumpernickel comes from the German words pumpern, meaning to break wind, and nickel, meaning goblin. It basically means fart goblin.
Yes! What the heck? How has this been something that had existed in the world for so long and I didn't know about it?
German, the more I learn about it, the more I'm wow, this language is just weirdly magical.
Germany must be weirdly magical if there are fart goblins that you name your bread after. Why would you name your bread after a fart goblin? Because people must have hated the bread when they had to eat it. I mean, that's not an appealing thing.
In theory, to do with the difficulty, how it is typically difficult for people to digest.
Oh, so it turns you into a fart goblin.
I think so.
I mean, is that just the nature of rye, or were they already like gluten intolerant?
I don't know. Well, it's specifically made of unbolted rye flour. Does that have something to do with it? I'm not sure. I mean, unbolted, who knows? If it's bolted, maybe it's less fartsome, as we would as we say.
If you're not allowed to bolt, like you can't bolt, you're unbolted.
Right.
Must you cook it in a Dutch oven? Like they're trapped with the pumpernickel.
Wow.
It is one way to cook.
Are you talking about hot boxing? That's not how you bake bread.
I'm talking about a Dutch oven, which is a way.
Oh, I should have known.
I can't believe they let me come over to
Sorry.
NEPM. Can
I
you?
know. Now I joined in and I feel wrong.
Yeah, Khalees, you're supposed to be on my side.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, this is the Germans' fault. People
It's
need
too
to know.
good.
People
That's right.
need to
I
know.
mean-
Brioche, pumpernickel, never forget.
The fact is that pumpernickel is a bread in good standing. You can find it in a grocery store. You can buy it in a bakery, and yet it has this crazy etymology. So what do?
You tell the world.
You tell the world.
It's fart goblin bread!
I have a loaf of it at home right now, actually.
There's never going to be a more fun bread word than pumpernickel at this point. But are there more
Yeah, no,
words?
that is true. That is
Yeah.
true. Zwieback is also a German bread, a usually sweetened bread enriched with eggs that is baked and then sliced and toasted until dry and crisp. Its etymology is basically it's twice baked. That's
Okay.
what the
It's
German
German
word
biscotti.
means.
That makes sense.
And now you give it to
Yes.
babies for
Yes,
teething.
and Khalees, both biscuit and biscotti also come from phrases that mean twice cooked bread.
Biscotti by. Yeah,
By
two.
cooked.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah.
Biscuit, twice cooked.
Biscuit. Because what the number 2 in German is Zwei, right? Is feedback?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, German. You make too much sense.
All right, how about ciabatta? Do either of you like ciabatta?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Okay.
funny thing about the word ciabatta is how new it is. Its first known use in English, it dates to 1985.
Whoa.
It apparently was first baked in 1982 by an Italian baker named Arnaldo Cavallari.
In Italy or in the U.S.?
In Italy, it was actually to compete with the rod. It was to compete with the French baguette.
Uh-huh.
And its name translates to slipper.
Ciabatta. I like that.
Because they're in little rolls.
But that is apparently the source of the etymology, is the shape of the loaf.
The ciabatta slipper. That's what I'm going to wear on the food bank march. Or I'm just going to bake a warm one and heal my wounded toes before this coming week.
I mean, they'll be cushioned, but if they run into the crust, you'll just have problems. Not a whole lot of arch support.
So ciabatta is new, but focaccia is old.
Uh-huh.
Flat Italian bread, typically seasoned with herbs and olive oil. It comes from the Latin word focus, meaning hearth, because that's where focaccia used to be cooked, on the actual hearth.
I love focaccia.
Me too.
It's a very forgiving bread if you're not particularly good at bread, which I am not.
Well, Emily Brewster, I will be thinking of you and your generosity in coming on the march those 26 miles those 2 times, as well as your dictionary's generosity towards the Food Bank of Western Mass, who supported your march and also put out matching incentives over the years and has been a contributing member of our wonderful Western Massachusetts community as its headquarters of the Dictionary of Note for the U.S. English language is right here in our backyard in Springfield. You are doing the smart thing by not walking, supporting other people who are.
I will be with you in spirit and supporting the food bank and the marchers from afar, for sure.
We have in Spanish on our refrigerator a blessing from Guatemala that says, "May there be bread for those who are hungry and hunger for justice for those of us who have bread."
Nice.
I thought you were going to do this earlier.
I had to. A little easy listening music with bread.
Bread. At least it's not if.
Yeah.
That song is not good.
Yeah.
Come for me. We're about to go break bread in Holyoke.
That's right. There is a benefit for the Holyoke Food and Equity Collective, which you might have heard last week on the show. The Compost Co-op was highlighted, and they're doing a fundraising dinner with another marcher for the food bank, Chef Neftali Duran, the leader of Team Taco on the march for the food bank, who has threatened this year to dress up as Miguel Myers from Halloween. and who has previously dressed up as the Mexican Sasquatch, as a luchador, as a chicken.
Yep.
Yeah. And
a whole bunch of other things.
yeah, and he's going to be making some great food at the new Lighthouse/Gateway facility right down there on Ray Street in Holyoke.
Have people learn a little bit more about their organization, too, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it
While
is.
eating squash.
And if you have been hearing lots of things about the March for the Food Bank and are interested in participating, it is not too late. You could still decide you wanted to march some or all of it if you wanted to, or at this point, if you haven't done the training and want to do the whole, I don't recommend doing the whole thing. Maybe, Congressman McGovern will join us tomorrow. Doesn't do any training, and he does the whole 43 miles. Nevertheless,
I feel like all his previous years might be small amounts of training. It's not like you can take the whole year and have it undo all of that work.
Right, true, but it doesn't stick with you for the whole year. But you can go to foodbankwma.org and you can find all the details. You can see who's marching. You could support a team there. You can see where I'll be and when. And then starting on Monday, there will actually be a tracker where you can follow where the shopping cart is when, if we get delayed in our schedule, if we're ahead of schedule, depending on how fast I can walk with my wounded feet.
And how long the train goes, depending on how many people. It sometimes takes a little bit longer to get everybody all queued up and all set.
Yeah, especially if I have to do a bathroom stop. Oh, and look at this. Betsy Langto, our engineer, is playing a song from Wicked, which I will be dressing up as on the Monday and Tuesday. The movie comes out this weekend. I will be both Elphaba and Glinda.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, and tomorrow on the Fabulous 413, I will be talking with the guy who did the Broadway makeup behind Wicked. He designed it for the show, and he is going to teach me how to do my makeup like both Elphaba and Glinda for the March for the Food Bank.
So that you can do it yourself and hopefully get all of it out of your ears this time.
I know, yeah.
It's been there all week.
Khalees saw the test from the day after the test. It's hard to get that makeup off.
I know. We're also heading to Lenox to the Fall Festival of Shakespeare, where high school students from all over Western Mass are going to be performing various works of the playwright, and we'll discover why that work still resonates with us today. Plus,
Congressman Jim McGovern will join us tomorrow. You can send us a question about the March or beyond, thefab413 at nepm.org. I'm Monty Belmonte.
I'm Khalees Smith. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Fabulous 413.